Okay, could not have asked for a better Bible. Now, my color that I love, that is really lucky for me, is silver. And this Bible has a silver lining. Look at this. This is actually glowing silver. And look at that, it's so beautiful. And it's soft covered, so like it doesn't, you can't really, you can't actually bend it or break it. It's super soft. And on top of that, it's got the big letters. It's these huge letters. They're so big and easy to read. And also, they have the red lettering, which is supposed to be the exact words from Jesus. So now this Bible has the words that Jesus specifically said in red, and I hadn't known that before. So this is a real gift, and I couldn't have asked this gift from anyone better, and I couldn't have gotten this from anyone better. And this couple actually are one of the most wonderful couples I've seen, and very inspiring in the way that they treat each other and just the way that they are, and they're both beaming with radiance, and quite an example for me to see. And I was really happy that they were coming to the Bible study, and I saw them in church, and actually they really did left an impression on me. And the fact that they gave me this gift from their heart, it's I think maybe one of the best gifts I've ever gotten in my life. And so she encouraged me to really just use this, you know. And sometimes things are just so nice that you don't want to ever highlight it. You don't want to kind of make it too, like, leave my print all over it. But she encouraged me. I guess she knows me. I don't know. She must be an angel, because she knows me. She said that this is mine, and she wants to see me really get into it. She wants to see me highlight it. She wants me to leave my prints all over it. I was encouraged to really make it my own. And so it's really amazing. And so the King James one, the one that last time that I was, this Holy Spirit said not to take from the book drive. Actually, that went to the pastor's wife, because she just stepped in and stepped out, and we saw each other again. And I told her, I said, there's a brand new Bible there. And she's like, wow. And she ended up taking it. So it was almost like I had to point that out for her, and that was meant for her, for I don't know what reason, but that was not for me. And I kept wondering, questioning why I don't have a new Bible. And now look at this. This is, and it's such a gift, you know. This is such a gift. And this is the NIV, which actually I find much better reading than the King James. And I prefer the NIV. And so I think if I were to buy this myself, I couldn't have bought a better Bible. I wouldn't have known to, or even had the option to get like the big print, you know. Look at this. This is humongous. Now, look at the big print on that one compared to, okay, now this is lying. Let's put it side by side. The tiny print. This is really tiny. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see how much bigger that is. But this is way bigger. It's almost twice the size, you know. And this morning when I went to church, the Holy Spirit had told me to take a shower. And I took a shower, washed my hair, because we actually, you know, we had a group hug, me and the lovely couple. And I actually also was told to not bring anything because I was thinking about bringing this old dilapidated Bible, but you know, the Holy Spirit said, don't bring anything and just go. And so this is the kind of books that I want in my life now. And I you know, so the New Age book is burnt completely. And now I have a brand new Holy Bible gifted by the most lovely couple I've ever seen in church. And I couldn't have asked for something better. I really think it's really touching. It really touched my heart that they would do that for me, and that they cared, and that he thought about this at night and went online and bought this for me, and it was just very, very heartwarming. And so while I'm at the books, I want to talk about this book as well. This book, it was, I think, I actually don't even remember how I came about this book. I really don't remember. I don't remember how. But this is the book about opiate people who were on opiate addicts that were in Hong Kong back in the day. And this missionary woman went to Hong Kong and saved all of these kids from their addiction and gangsters. And I thought I wouldn't like this book, and I was trying to just quickly kind of thumb through it so that I can get rid of it. But I realized I can't get rid of it, and I couldn't put it down. It was just, once you start to read this, you cannot stop. And in her trick, and what I learned from this was that she had gotten these kids off their drugs by having them pray in tongue during the trial and hard times when they were going through the withdrawals. And that was a message that I got, that she was able to get 100% off drugs. And she actually walked out in the middle of a triad discussion where she kind of was held hostage almost in this negotiation place where they wanted this girl, and because she owed them money, and she was there trying to get her out safely. And so she had to negotiate with the triad boss. And this was about the time where she thought her life might end at the time. There was a bunch of the gangsters outside with guns in the car waiting while they were negotiating inside like a cafe in Hong Kong. And they were at a stalemate because he wouldn't budge. He wants the girl back, and she's got the money to pay her way out, but he said no. And so they were at a standstill, and these guys, they don't take no very well. So what happened was she ended up walking out of that situation without there was no violence. And she specifically told her kids, who are now very concerned for her safety, the kids that she saved and became Christians and had changed their entire life. And they were looking at this whole situation with binoculars at the opposite side of the cafe. But she had instructed them not to get violent, not to come in, not to intervene, and just to keep an eye out. So she ended up walking out of that situation, and no one did anything. They just watched her leave. And she said she didn't know, but she just suddenly had the guts to just get up and go, and they didn't stop her. And she was really surprised, and later she finds out that it was because she spoke in tongue. That during the whole time while she was speaking in tongue, while she was in the cafe, the the triads and the gangsters looked at her and they wouldn't touch a hair on her body. They said that they saw she had this glow in her eyes and this kind of, they felt the presence of something great on her. But the whole time she was gonna piss in her pants because she was scared. And she didn't know she had that effect on them because she was scared for her life. But the whole time she was under her breath speaking in tongue at this situation. Okay, so that's the book. It's a really amazing book. And then, so now my books are like this. I was led to this book because I was thinking, you know, I wanted some book that talked about how to eat the weeds around our garden because, you know, we have so many nutritious weeds that we ignore and we just use chemicals to get rid of. And I had this desire to kind of know my weeds better, and this book had a bit of information about weeds. Okay, garden weed. Oh, this is okay. So these are the 10 best weeds to eat. Look at that. Look at all these goodies. Oh, look at all these yummies. Look at that. We see that often here. We can just eat that directly off the stem. And these are really lovely. The thistles, they're very nutritious and delicious. And these, you know. Anyway, so this is a book that I was led to in the Holy Spirit. That's the wild fennel. And we have so many here, just on the sides of the road. And dandelion, look at that. It's really good. Okay, so that's the kind of books. And I bought this because I saw a YouTuber talk about, this is her book actually, she's on YouTube, Sheila. And these are prayers that she's done. And this is when I first came to Christ and I wasn't really sure how to pray. So I bought this book and she said this is a really good, a tiny, and I like how it's so small, you know, it's a tiny little book. It's really nice to carry around if you travel often, you know, these are small pocket size. And this was a book that I got with the book drive, Who God Is. Okay. And then the Holy Spirit that one time also led me to this book, which I haven't read yet. Appetite for Life. And I'm curious to why my spirit would lead me to this, but whenever my spirit leads me to a book, it's usually really good and it usually has a really profound message for me. And because we're all trying to get ready, I had got this book as well. This is called The Lost Ways, and they teach you how to build your own house and like make food. Oh my goodness, this is not that clear. Basically survival. Make glue out of pine resin. That's not very hard. There's just really sticky things. And they teach you like really amazing, just like things that no one else. This is just anti-norm, you know, this is not something that most people, but they're practical messages, the practical information on the things we could eat. Also, they have a section on weeds. I haven't actually gone through this yet, but I figure I need to have this because it teaches us how to, let's see. Look at this. Build your own. Building a semi-subterranean roundhouse. Look at that. That looks so amazing. Got roof. Rock wall. Look at this. Oh, let me see. You can see it. Huh. It looks very stealth. You know, you put a bunch of, you know, little trees around it, and it just looks like a hill. It's pretty stealth, and don't need to do much, you know. Oh, look at that. And they dig into the ground to create that. So this had pretty good reviews, and there are some people who say that this is too easy, or that, you know, that, but sometimes, you know, it's good to just, we only need the simple things. We don't need a lot of complex stuff. The simpler the better. All right, so here we are, and I'm wearing these nice comfy shoes, my slippers, and they're made out of straw, and they were handmade because, well, everything now is synthetic, and all our polyesters and all of that keeps us from connecting with the energy of the earth. And synthetic things, they don't stop our energy from connecting with the ground, with the earth. So these things with no bottoms, see, look at their bottoms are the same, completely straw, made out of straw. So they have a greater connection with the earth energy, especially if we go outside where there's just, you know, no pavement, when they're just grass, parks and stuff. Yeah. And also going to Portugal, you'll realize that they also have, they're famous for their cork. So I bought a pair of cork sandals, and the cork sandal has to go cork all the way through, because a lot of the Birkenstocks, they have the plastic on the bottom and they're cork on top, but the plastic is what severs us from connecting directly with the energy of the grounding energy of the earth. So it's best to get the kind that don't have the plastic that keeps us from grounding into the earth.